Steve, before we talk about last night, quick one. Last weekend, Jack Cullen went over to Germany and put a gallant effort in, but perhaps it was the wrong tactics to go to war with Luca Planta.
Yeah, well, I spoke to Jack, and I think subconsciously, because he didn't really turn up against Chelle, he was determined to put it all in over there in Germany, and he did, and it turned out to be a shootout, and he said everything the kid hit him with hurt. Obviously, we knew he was heavy-handed, but we thought that Jack would be able to keep him long, and maybe when he has to get a fight later on, we took a bit of sting out of the kid. But he got into a shootout early doors, and
round one, was it?
He also said to me, like, you know, when he punches, and Jack can punch as well, he said, like, you can feel when you've hit it correctly, and you get like the force in your hand and the shudder down there. You think, wow, that's a perfect punch. He says, and he hit him with a couple of them, and he never moved. So as well as being heavy-handed, he's a tough guy. And you know, I was watching the fight at home because unfortunately I couldn't go, I just thought that kid had a real good tight defence, and a lot of Jack shots that he was throwing, and he was throwing plenty. You know, he was covering on his arms, so his defence was good. And then he'd obviously be looking at Jack, who was throwing a lot of punches and finding the openings. He didn't waste much. So someone who's 6-0, he looks a really well schooled, experienced fighter, and fair play to Jack. You know, he was talking about retiring after his poor performance against Zach Chelle, but he come back, put a real good brave effort in, but let's be fair, the kid was just a bit too good for him, and
he was very good.
You know, from Jack's point of view, you know, he's got well paid, had experience fighting abroad in Germany. It was for the WBC, so the risk reward was there to go and have a go, and that's what he did. He had a go, but unfortunately, there's winners and losers, and we was a loser on Saturday last time, but obviously we're going to talk about being back on the winning streak now, aren't we?
Yeah, because it must have been a great night for you that last night, because Zelfa's been with you from the beginning, and it's been a rocky road at times, and this is a proper a must win for both fighters.
Listen, it was a much must win for Zelfa. You know, you think about it, is it Manchester and it's Gil v Barrett. You know, that tells you what the show's about. Gil v Barrett, and he was at home. There was a lot of pressure on him, because it's like, where would he have gone if he didn't win last night? And like you say, he's had a bit of a rocky road with the boxing and personal things as well, and it's a great story for him, but it's not the end of the story, because to be fair, if Gil wouldn't have won that fight with Cullen, we wouldn't be looking about Gil against Zelfa Barrett being a 50-50 fight, which everyone was saying it was. You know what I mean? It would have been very much Barrett as the favourite, but because of that Cullen win, and maybe Cullen, I wouldn't like to say shot, but he'd seen his better days, and was showing a lot of weaknesses before that fight. It probably picked Gil up a bit more than he was, and you know, the first 2 rounds last night I couldn't split. We was very cautious, and then he put his foot down Zelfa and hurt him a lot in the 3rd and the 4th, and I just presumed that he'd go on and get probably a 5th, 6th round stoppage, but for some unknown reason he switched off a little bit, and it wasn't until he realised that he was letting Gil back in the fight that he had to be dominant again. And as soon as he started going on his front foot and letting the hands go, it was curtains for Gil, and fair play to him. He put a brave effort on, but you know, if Zelfa had done that in 5 and 6 that he did in 9 and 10, he wouldn't have seen the midway rounds. And really and truthfully, someone with the ability and punching power and pick selections of Zelfa, that'd have been the right way. But you know, as I say, there was a lot of pressure on him, and he dealt with it, and it's good because he's a nice guy, and good guys do become winners. And really, my job now is to make sure that, you know, we're not messed around, and we do get a world title fight, which isn't easy.
What was on the line for that then? Was there a title on the line?
There was that both WBA won, I think, international, one intercontinental, so he was fighting for them belts. Right. But as in eliminator or final limiter, no, there wasn't. It was just a fight, really. But it was a fight where, certainly from Zelfa's point of view, it'd have been hard to pick him up and bring him back to the level that he's still at now and moving forward. Gil, there's loads of opportunities coming for him, so like it wasn't what people were saying, nowhere for the loser to go. It'd be nowhere for Zelfa to go if he lost, but he's won, and he's done it in devastating style, even though he did switch off for a little bit. And now, as I say, my job's to push Eddie and make sure that he uses all the powers that he's got and he can deliver and make sure he does deliver. And you know, I won't be surprised if Zelfa's last few years he's a world champion at super feather and goes up and becomes a world champion at lightweight and makes enough money to retire. And really and truthfully, that's what we all want for Zelfa now. He's a lovely kid, dedicated his life to the sport. As these videos gone out there, it'd have been easy for him to go the wrong way, but he hasn't done. And good guys can win, and let's hope it's a start for us as well now, because we've had a couple of bad results, and you know, but personally I've had a few things going on as well, and you know, we're turning things around, and hopefully Zelfa's the start of all the other kids coming back and winning titles. Yeah. Good, nice one, Steve. Well, it's nice to see a smile on your face. Yeah. Even after United drew 2-2. Yeah. Cheers then. Thank you. All right, then, bye.
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.